Welcome back to part 2 of the games I rated 3 stars during Steam Next Fest. If you haven't checked out part 1, go check it out now. But let's get into it. First up, we have Matchmaker Agency. This one is an interesting one. It's off to a good start. I liked a lot of the ideas. However, some of its executions are a little bit lackluster. Like, for starters, in the opening, we get a huge, soap opera narrative of, generations of history of this agency, when all we needed was a quick blurb of, here is your inheritance, let's run a shop. Secondly, with the art style, it's really weird, especially in the males. They all have that real innocent anime face, and that makes them look 20 years younger. So it looks like you're setting up young teens on dates, and that's not a really good feeling. Even the grumpy old landlord is yassified. It's real weird. In terms of the actual mechanics, most of it was pretty good. I liked being able to pair people up based on their interests. However, sometimes it felt a little bit too easy. Maybe it's just because of the early parts of the demo, but the mechanic of being able to go on the dates and sway them made it feel like it would be way too easy to just game the system and make even a bad match work out. But the one part that wasn't simple, that was really annoying, which is the interview process, where no matter what options I picked to match the client, it felt like it was a paper, scissors, rock whether I was going to get it right or not. However, I'm also going to give real big props to this game for having a huge range of diversity in the genders and sexualities of their clientele as well. That was really refreshing to see. I really liked that. Next up, we have Poems and Codes. This is a really simple premise for a puzzle game where you're just filling in the blanks, and once you've solved all the different positions, it unveils a famous poetry. You can see me working on it behind me in fast forward here. I could spend a lot of time on these kind of puzzles. I often get little puzzle books. I love solving them. I did enjoy getting to the end and seeing the whole finished poem in its full glory. I think what would really elevate this to the next level, make it a bit more than just a Sunday puzzle kind of thing, would be to have kind of a story or secret messages that you're on decoding instead, or as well. Then aside from that, my other main issue with this game is just in the graphics. You get this beautiful kind of dappled shading here. However, if you turn that off, you're for some reason left with only the dark lettering, not the bright lettering. And why would you give us less contrast? That makes no sense. Also, if you went through this demo and you only played on the easy mode, I highly recommend jumping onto the hard mode, because it is a entirely different kettle of fish, because you're not given anything to start with. Next up, we have Midnight 85. They do give you a content warning at the start of this game to let you know that this is going to be dealing with some harrowing stuff. But I didn't really expect it to be this harrowing this quickly. You are being a 00911 operator, effectively. However, I didn't expect that my demo tutorial was going to be a man on the verge of death, and that my first proper scenario was going to be dealing with surreptitiously getting police to an apartment to deal with a domestic abuse situation. Gets real heavy real quick. While I did work my way through these scenarios, it's really difficult having to just be one tiny chat box away from defeat versus success. And I really hope there's some slightly more lighthearted narratives in between. And we don't get to see much of it in the demo, so I really hope that in the full release of the game, there'll be more of an overarching plot and narrative, kind of like with Papers, Please, where you're having to deal with the outside world and the consequences of your decisions. Finally, we have Paper Trail. I really enjoyed the origami-based kind of gameplay at the core of this game. However, I found that sometimes in the tutorial, it didn't really give you enough kind of a slow advancement. It kind of rushed a bit too fast. Then again, I was also kind of pressured by the whole Steam Next Fest time crunch. So perhaps I would instinctively take my time a little bit more if I could give myself more of that time. For instance, I really liked the dominoes puzzle, and I really enjoyed this kind of circle motif puzzle. However, the sliding ones, where you had to slide a block around as well as moving yourself, and that is just where I kind of ended up beginning to just force my way through. It's a really lovely puzzle. I just think it really needs a steadier difficulty curve just to combat that lack of patience. And that's it. That was everything. I ranked 3 stars for Steam Next Fest. I really hope I don't have to record this again. You can check out the videos of that gameplay over on my YouTube, or you can see me live on Twitch. Until then, I'll see you next time.